I'm Rachel. I'm a senior at ASU in the School of Life Sciences, and I want to talk to you about how I found my career and my passion in science through the things I already loved. And so 2 things you should know about me is, the first, I'm very, very passionate about science. The generation of knowledge that wouldn't otherwise exist through inductive reasoning and logical thinking just really excites me. My other passion is the outdoors. I love anything that gets me out of the city. Hiking, climbing, camping, anything that I can just escape. And so the first thing I really want to do with this talk is ask you all to think about what is science and what does it really mean to be a scientist. And I want you to formulate in your head a picture of what a scientist looks like and what a scientist does. And if you're anything like me, when I started my undergrad, this is what I thought of. I thought a scientist was a stuffy old man in a lab coat that worked inside all day and really was just concentrating a little too hard and cared a little too much about what they were doing. Or maybe something like this, wearing goggles and stuck inside, and that just wasn't me. And really it just led me to believe that science and science research just wasn't a career that I was interested in or anything that I wanted to be a part of. And it just led me to think that it was boring, and I dismissed it at that point. And so I thought in all my naivety that I had 2 options with a degree in science or a degree in biology. I thought I can either be a doctor or I can be a researcher. And mind you, I was quite naive at this time. And so since I had already dismissed the idea of doing research, I decided to go on this track to become a doctor. And so I began receiving advice on how to pad my resume and how I could stand out from the crowd and really make it as a med school student. And the time and time again, the thing that kept coming back was, you have to get involved in research. It's the most important thing you can do. And I got involved in a lab, and I wasn't making the most of it. But in the summer of 2012, I received this amazing experience to move to this tiny little town and work on lizards. And I loved it. I absolutely fell in love with it because every day I got to wake up and go hiking for my job. And I got to explore these places that were just completely untouched by humans. Places that I would have never, ever seen just hiking on my own. And I thought, this is amazing. You can do what you want for your career. And someone was willing to pay me to do what I already love to do. And what it really did was it brought out the kid in me again. It made me feel, like these questions that I had about my natural world were important, and people wanted to know the answers. And so I was asking questions, and I was so involved, and I had all these questions that were just very basic questions. Like things like, why is the sky blue, or why is the grass green? Things that you do when you're a kid, and you go outside and you just look at your world. And so later that fall, I had this amazing opportunity to work with the Science is Fun program at ASU. And in this program, interns like myself, we would visit classrooms, and we would just do these very basic science experiments with the kids. And they absolutely loved it, but when you would talk to them about research, they had the same idea that I did. It was boring, and it wasn't for them. And all of this really got me thinking that these kids, they thought what I thought about research. And I thought, if we want our kids to be excited about science and be interested in careers in science and research, then we really have to shift our paradigm of what we think it is. We have to start promoting these explorers and these activists and these people that are outside every day for their job. And if we want to bring life back to our kids, and we want them to come to college, and we want them to be exploring these careers, then we need to give them a reason to. And we need to give them life. And we need to remember why we ourselves as scientists became involved in the first place. We need to let them know that science isn't just stuffy old men in lab coats, but it's people exploring their world. Thank you.